Hello and welcome back to Long Live the Queen. Right, I want to stay yielding for the time being, so I'm just going to neutral out our angry. Incidentally, if you manage to get it pure neutral, then you get, thing across the board. Right, I'm going to keep the tea dress because it, as I say, it boosts something that I want to stay boosted, but I'll show you the coronet dress. And because I like criticising fashion, it's a little... I don't know. I like the gloves. I really do like the gloves. I have a thing for long, elegant gloves, but I don't know. It's this bit round here feels unnecessary to me somehow. Plus, it's got lots of unnecessary bows and ribbons and things all over the place, which I don't think it needs. Okay, let's put some points in composure and elegance. At your command, your teacher strikes your palm with a leather tawse, and you learn to bear the sting. You lie on a couch and try to remain relaxed while your teacher smacks your heels with a leather tawse. You are strapped into a corset and a hoop skirt and practice walking in these. The corset makes it hard to breathe and twist, and the skirt sways out of control if you move too rapidly. You practice graceful arm gestures for every motion, from offering your hand for a kiss to taking hold of a banister at the stairs. As you are walking through the great hall, a freak gust of wind suddenly blows out all the candles in the room. How strange. There must be an open window somewhere. Okay. Let's visit the treasury for a point in willful to closely level us out some more. And let's, again, composure and elegance. You are strapped into tight, heavy armour and made to walk around in it, learning that any attempt at sudden movement will catch painfully or trip you. Slow and steady is the way to go. Your teacher smears your body and clothes with strawberry jam and makes you walk around like that for hours, facing the funny looks and snickers aimed at you, without hiding or becoming angry. You practice walking over smouldering coals with bare feet, and so long as you keep moving steadily but do not panic and freeze or run, you are not burned. Okay, good. You practice eating slowly, with a minimum of mess, chewing each bite a set number of times before swallowing. And you practice standing up, sitting down, picking up items from the floor, bending at the knees, not at the waist. And you practice speaking and laughing quietly, not trying to disappear or go unheard, but focusing your energy into a smaller space so that it draws people closer. Things have been so unsettled lately. Everyone's on edge. We need something cheerful. You could hold a tournament. What a good idea! Knights, jousting, musicians, all sorts of competitions. Everyone loves a contest. What will you offer as prizes to the winners? Employment. The winners will have the option of taking up royal appointments. It's a recruitment drive. Very well. I will draft the announcements. And you leave him to his work. Okay. 1 point in yielding, 1 point in afraid. I can live with that. You creep through the castle dungeons, casting glimpses here there of the fate that awaits troublemakers in the kingdom. Even nobles can end up here sometimes. It's a good reminder to stay on the straight and narrow. Okay, how are my skills doing? Right. Okay, one more day of composure and elegance, I'll max it out. Then a double on presence, we'll max that out. Then I'll deliberately depress myself and start working on the expression stuff, and I do have a reason for that. Your teacher gathers up some of the castle staff to shout insults at you, while you practice staying calm, and not bursting into laughter. Your teacher instructs you in a game of cards, teaching you to bluff with a straight face. You practice sitting quietly and listening to the conversations of others without becoming bored or restless, and you practice standing in attractive positions in full costume, and maintaining those poses for long periods of time. So we've maxed out our elegance, good. This is the week of the general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against one another. The people will be pleased if you participate in their games, however it would expose you to danger. What event do you wish to take part in? I don't have the No, I don't really have the skills for any of these. So I guess I'll just watch from my tower. The tournament goes on without you. Okay, let's neutral out our mood a bit. Okay, and double presence. You practice giving commands to the castle staff, neither asking nor demanding, but telling them what needs to be done. As long as you believe it to be true, they will as well. You practice watching people and willing them to feel your gaze on them, and inevitably they'll be drawn to you. You imagine things that will happen in the near future, and then convince yourself and others that those things will happen. And you organise a group of castle staff and coach them through carrying out a complicated multi-stage task. We have nothing more to learn about presents. My lady, your father's wishes to speak to you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. You find your father standing over a map of the coastline, his face grave. Ships have been sighted on approach from Shanjia. Not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? Within a week they'll be in Novan waters, and within 2 they could reach the capital. Then we will fight to defend ourselves. You could try to use the treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. To recruit some soldiers. Fine, we'll do that. And you will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as an admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I would strongly advise against it. Stay in the capital. No, there's too much to do here. I can't go to sea. Because we don't have the naval skills. Okay. I need to be depressed. No. I need something that depresses me without... Depressed and afraid? It's going to push afraid to the front, which I don't want. But I think it's the best I'm going to get. Okay. I need as many points into decoration as I can. That seems weird, but I promise it's got a purpose. You discuss the nature of beauty by looking around landscapes, objects, and people and comparing their aesthetic elements. You practice sketching fruits and flowers with charcoal and parchment. Danger on the high seas. Ships close on one another, angling into range. The Shanjis have half as many troops as you do. It doesn't look good. The eventual outcome is not in your favour. Novan ships are sunk or scattered as the Shanjian forces press towards landfall. Many good soldiers were lost today. Nova's troubles have not ended. Since you failed to repel the invasion, the Shanjian fleet will soon land and their troops will begin to progress towards your capital city. Your remaining soldiers will hold them off for as long as possible, of course, but the main strength of your military has been exhausted. Nova's future looks bleak. I need to depress myself without... No. Okay, I'm now depressed. This is weird, but this is exactly what I want to be. Okay, classes, instrument and voice. You tap out chimming dyads at a glockenspiel, learning the basics of harmony and rhythm. And you practice a deep breathing exercise to build up your ability to sustain a note. I think I might have bugged this up. The invasion of Nova is proceeding. Your coastline is under Shanjian control. Soldiers have marched through villages, trampling fields and frightening citizens. A diplomatic delegation from Shanji has requested access to the castle to discuss terms, most likely for your surrender. You lack the strength to hold off their armies, and surrendering now will save many lives. It seems you have no other choice. You prepare yourself as best you can to meet with the representatives from Shanjia. You expected diplomats and a military representative, general or an admiral. You did not expect a handsome man decked in jewels who now stands before you. A man announced by his servants to be Togami, king of Shanjia. Is he really their king? Why would a king come all the way here? And he's a lumen too. My dear young lady, how difficult this must be for you. So many responsibilities for such a tender age. You yearn to slap the false sympathy from his oily face, but you force yourself to remain calm. War benefits no one, don't you think? Such a terrible waste. Better to settle things in a civilized manner. A contest, a game, so to speak, with Nova as the stakes. Should I win, your domain will submit and accept me as overlord with no further resistance. Should I lose, my army will leave your domain in peace and shed no more blood. What sort of game? It is well known that Nova is ruled by Illumans. As it happens, I too possess the powers of a Lumen. I propose a formal duel, my powers against yours. The winner takes control of Nova, and the loser dies. Your game by your rules for my life? That doesn't sound fair to me. The rules of formal dueling have been passed down for centuries and must be upheld. It is important we do this by the ancient codes. Why should I? If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you meet me in a formal Lumen challenge, I'll call off the invasion, even if I win. Really? I swear it by the gods, Nova will be free and safe. Why take the risk? You're winning the war. It's not your land that I want, it's your crystal. It won't work for you. How little you know. Under the right circumstances, resonance can be changed. To gain your power, I'm willing to wager my own. Shall we begin? I can sense his power. It's so strong. I've learned everything I possibly could, but he's at least as good as I am. I don't like this, but what choice do I have? I don't have a choice. Gotta go into this, and I suspect I'm gonna lose. Then I must. Togami explains the rules of formal dueling to you, including a carefully inscribed circle of wards, which will contain the effects of any powers you wield, protecting the bystanders from danger. And then, it's time to begin. You trade attacks, one spell sensed and countered by another, reserving your strength as much as possible. It might almost be exciting if your life wasn't on the line. You need to end this quickly, before his experience allows him to come up with a trick you can't defeat. He's used to dealing with magical attacks, but he might not be expecting a physical one. Perhaps if you rushed him, you could take him off guard? Up close he couldn't use his fancy spells, but what would you do then? You'd still have to use magic to win, you can't just grab him and bang his head on the floor. Perhaps you could focus your power into the shape of a sword, attack him with that. Or you could distract him somehow, cast a spell he couldn't block. So, if you've got sword skills as well as magic, you can beat him with a magic sword, and if you've got decoration at a high enough level, you can hit him with a dazzle attack. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've got decoration high enough. I think it needs to be pretty high. Yep, decoration failed. You throw out a dazzling shower of sparkles, hoping to blind him and seize the advantage. But it doesn't work. Swirls of dark smoke rise from the floor at your feet, spinning around you like a black hurricane, and you know you have to stop it, but how? It's all around you, there's nothing to target. Faster and faster it spins, making it hard to breathe until finally, everything goes dark. Yep, that's pretty much how most run-throughs of this game will end. Elodie did not survive to reach her coronation. Nova would have to go on without her. But it doesn't have to end this way. Make different choices, train different skills, and Elodie's star may rise again. And that was Long Live the Queen. As I say, sorry for how little content there has been this week. It's just been a really busy week for me, so my apologies for that. I promise lots and lots of content next week, because the game that I'm doing, which you'll find out what it is when I put out the official review of this game, because I always do that next week, such and such. As I say, based on what I've read, it's reasonably long, so you should get lots and lots of content next week. So, sorry about that, but thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this Let's Play series, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/rmp792. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in future series.